In bitch slap news.
That's slapping beatbox.
I think slapping someone is more satisfying than punching someone.
Agreed. Because when you punch, you kind of get hurt a little.
Yeah, it hurts you.
Yeah, it is satisfying.
But when you slap,
Oh! Yeah.
Remember that one time I slapped you? It felt so good, didn't
Okay,
it?
wait, I want to hear what he wants to say. We haven't even read the title.
Submitted by Carla Binges JKN.
Hey, Carla.
Hey, Carla.
A man was jailed for slapping a teacher who punished him too hard 20 years ago.
Whoa.
20 years. Were they hit?
You could get jailed for
Yeah.
slapping?
Was it like hit discipline back in the day?
Oh, wait. This is also in
No,
Asia.
it's not.
This is also in Asia.
Oh.
You could get jailed for slapping in Asia?
No, what I'm saying is like, this happened in Asia, so they're probably still slapping now.
in Japan they stopped doing it.
Teachers.
But this guy got jailed for slapping.
I want to hear the story. It seems like you already know the story. I don't know the story.
I do know the story.
Well, I know, but I want to hear her.
No one else knows.
Yeah, so
Bart, I almost called you Joe. I'm so used to yelling at Joe.
I'm not reading them anymore, Jess.
Dang, he got in trouble for reading them.
In central China, he was sentenced to 18 months in prison after he got revenge on his former teacher who would beat him in class.
Beat him up.
There's a video that went viral. That led him.
Virale.
I didn't see the video.
Viral. Maybe you could translate. I feel like I've seen this. Is it old? I have seen this.
We have seen this.
Have you?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, it's so sad.
It's like I don't even remember.
He's like, you remember me? You remember me? Who the fuck your mom? You remember me? Remember me? Used to fuck me up. You remember that?
He's not even fighting them. Oh, jeez.
Are we?
I would drive away.
They said, I'm sorry. Said, fuck your mom.
What'd he say?
Did you remember me?
He probably beat a lot of kids up.
He's like, do you remember me? He was like, and then the guy was like, I'm sorry. And he's like, fuck your mom again.
Oh, so he just kept saying the same thing?
Yeah. He just kept saying, do you remember me? Fuck your mom. And then you,
Damn.
do you remember that you beat the shit out of me? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Which guy? The
one
young
that
guy
got
or the old
slapped.
one?
No, the one that fucking was slapping little kids, the little shithead. I don't like that.
Did he
What if
say
that was the time back then though? 20 years ago was a long time.
20 years is not a long time. I think we were in high school.
20 years?
Is that really that old?
Year 2000.
So statute of limitations in the US is
I don't
7.
know.
It's 7 years, right?
Well,
so
I think it's more about him reliving that moment. So in that moment, what I see is him slapping the person that just slapped him yesterday in his head.
Traumatized.
Yeah, so he's
when he
thinking
was a
about
kid,
it.
yeah.
You could clearly tell this guy didn't let go. So he's reliving that beating nonstop.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, I saw him and it's fresh. Because that anger is like, oh, dude, that's some revenge shit right there.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it stops the teacher from hitting kids.
He probably retired.
Retired
Maybe.
now.
Yeah.
And
Because
maybe
like I
he's
think
not
like for
doing it
me,
anymore.
so like I hate this situation because I can be in both people's shoes and I can empathize for both people. So as the guy that's slapping, I can be like, motherfucker, I remember all the teachers I fucking hated.
Yeah.
At that time when I was that kid, I wanted to beat the fuck out of them. Not now when they're old and helpless and I'm way stronger and bigger. Not now. Like I wanted to beat them. Like if we could time travel, I'll go back in time and I'll beat the fuck out of them when they're 30-something.
Yeah.
So I can put
But
myself
you were
in that
young
guy's.
and helpless when they were.
Yeah, I could
when they
put
were-
myself in that guy's shoes.
Okay.
Yeah, when they're all old and you look at them, you're like, fuck, I can't do nothing now.
Yeah, you feel bad. And then if I put myself in the teacher's shoes, I'm like, motherfucker, every single teacher at this school smacked the kids. Why are you taking it personally? I smacked you, I smacked him, I smacked her, I smacked every single person. Your mom thanked me, gave me apples after school for smacking you because that's the culture. Like when teachers smack kids back in Asia, the parents would be like, thank you so much for disciplining my kids during my off-duty hours. So I'm like, I put myself in that situation. I'm like, well, it just sucks that 20 years later, now you're the only one that took it personally and now is fucking me up for it. So like I can put myself in both situations. It just sucks. It just sucks really bad.
And what if he was just a big ass nuisance in class.
The class clown.
He could have been an extra dick. I think that's what.
Yeah,
kind
it's
of-
only variable.
Yeah, like
You don't know the true whole story.
no, like, and then I forgave every teacher that got annoyed by me because it's like.
But you forgave them for getting annoyed by you?
I forgive you.
I forgive you.
I forgive.
It's okay,
But it makes sense though. I get it.
right?
Yeah.
Because then they'll react to their annoyance, is what I'm saying. And it's a child, you're supposed to be the adult in between the two and not get annoyed and handle the situation appropriately. But I also understand that they're human. There's oversized classrooms. There's crazy fucking kids out there. And I was a part of the problem, right? So in any situation, the adult should always have the upper hand. But then we're all humans, so they're gonna break, right?
Yeah.
So in these cases, I look back and I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. It just happened.
Yeah.
And in this case, he can't forgive that. He can't realize that maybe this guy was going through family problems. Maybe he was going through so much stress of his own that this kid was probably really problematic. And he just took out a lot of that rage on that one kid.
This video happened in June of last year, so there's a possibility you guys saw it. But I searched our channel, and I don't think we did a JK News on it. But anyway, the whole thing here, though, the reason why it's news now is because he has been sentenced to jail after the trial and during the trial. He claimed that his middle school teacher would punish him violently for sleeping in class. And that's why he just held all this shit in, but he used the word violently too. I don't know how crazy it was.
It was probably crazy.
Yeah.
So he actually got his friend to film this video and he posted it. So because of that, he was
to
found,
actually justice is served.
yeah. So because of that, he was found guilty of quote picking quarrels and provoking trouble.
Oh, because he set it up. It wasn't like, oh shit, what the fuck is that fool? Like he set the whole thing up kind of thing.
So he didn't get in trouble for assault. He got in trouble for fucking setting it up.
Oh, that's funny.
It was also because they were recording a video for dissemination. And so they're saying that this attracted several onlookers and raised public concerns and had a severe impact on the teacher and his family, as well as violating moral standards and public order. And so because of that, his behavior constitutes a crime. And
So they're more worried about the shame than the violent assault.
he ended up turning himself in, and because that was his first time offending, they gave him a more lenient punishment. But online, everyone is saying that the teacher should be punished because of what he did in his past.
I wish there were more details. Like, did he single him out? Was he equal with all the students?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Like what? Also, was it just falling asleep? If it was just falling asleep in class too, that's pretty.
It's so hard because like from an American mindset, it's way different. So when I was a kid, like my mom we would read these books on how to be a proper student.
Yeah.
So if you're falling asleep in class, as a student, it's your responsibility to carry a knife and stab yourself to wake yourself up.
What?
So if you understand that kind of mindset, it's like
That's pretty extreme, even in Asian terms.
no, but these are like scriptures that my mom would have me memorize.
Yeah, that people didn't read, that they stopped reading back in 1882.
No, this is like the
Because your mom's fucking
No,
extreme.
I know, but this book is also a basis of standard in at least all Taiwanese education at that time. So like just
Or so she
understanding-
told you.
Just understanding that mindset. So when you fall asleep in class, when you can't take responsibility for yourself and someone else has to take the responsibility of staying awake on top of them, they can do anything they want to you. It's like that type of mindset probably 20, 30 years ago or whatever. So
I don't think America was that far off because they used to discipline kids. They would paddle them. They would be, and in
In Catholic school.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But not 20 years ago.
no, not 20, maybe 40 years ago.
Yes.
What Jess's uncle, he just recently passed. He was 89, and I was talking to him about how he grew up in Texas, and when he was, he said a school kid, like his dad was an teacher administrator or whatever it was, and he goes, if kids were disrupting and having problems or like arguing back and forth, they would just literally just make them duke it out, and they're like, just fight or like whatever, and they would hit the kids and all that stuff. So I don't think it's really, I think we're just like kind of late to the game as far as child development and stuff like that.
But also in the great parable of Batman, revenge is not the way.
Yeah.
No.
It gives no satisfaction.
Yeah, even in Japan too, my uncle would, he says that one of his teachers were fucking violent as hell, and then he would let any kids, like, he'll be like, okay, if you have revenge or you want to fight me, we can go one-on-one, I don't care. And then so after...
Well, yeah, because they're a kid. Of course he's going to say that.
Well, they're high school,
Don't
right?
tell your parents. Oh,
He's
okay.
like, but when you go through puberty, we're not fighting no more.
No.
No, but in high school, so after he graduated, him and his buddies jumped the teacher. Yeah, it wasn't one-on-one, but then he was like, yeah, and then...
And he felt like he deserved it?
No, I mean, it was just tough. Like, people would just fight.
Tougher,
Like, they
yeah,
would just
yeah.
physically fight. So after they were done with that, they said, like, gone, and then they would leave. Because I forgot how the conversation went down, but we were talking about how kids today use guns and knives and, like, their violence, and then they'll come to school and they'll stab their teachers and all this stuff. But he's like, back in the day, like, he was like thinking that maybe it was better that you could just fight. Because you could
fist
get
fight.
it out of your system.
You don't die from fighting.
Right,
Fist fight,
but
yeah.
Most
yeah,
of the time.
But then he's like, now it's like overboard because people are shooting and stabbing and all that stuff. So,
What also sucks about teachers too is like a lot of them forget that whoever they're disciplining is gonna be an adult and an individual later.
Oh,
on.
yeah.
They're just taking that anger out right then and there. But this guy could be a doctor, this guy could be an engineer or be whoever like later on, and then they just see a little shithead in front of them without thinking how much they can scar someone's future.
Yeah.
yeah, but I also don't blame the teachers too, because if you think about it, like, they're not trained well either. Because the reason why people use violence and end up beating others is because they don't have a solution for what's happening and they panic. It comes out of them not knowing what to do.
I know a lot of what they should be teaching teachers is viewed as like, well, that should be taught at home. But it's like, you should also
Yeah.
know because you're dealing with these kids.
Yeah.
You know a lot of this.
Because parents will come into school and they don't want other people disciplining their kids or whatever. Because I remember I got pinched by my teachers.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, in elementary school.
Damn,
they
you
would
guys were
pinch my
fucking bad.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's like, I forgive the pinch. but hopefully something good that comes from this is, you know, they reevaluate kind of like to modern times now because we have
I hope so.
data of like what can
I
traumatize
think Asia's
kids.
changing. Yeah, Asia's gonna change.